Have you heard of Tiffany Henyard? Tiffany Henyard is the mayor of the village of Dolton in Illinois. Over the last year and a half, she's faced scrutiny from not only the residents of Dolton being a predominantly black town, but also her counterparts like the board of trustees and other people in government. Allegedly, Tiffany Henyard has been spending money on the village credit cards like it's her own personal money. And a few months back, the FBI opened an investigation against her. I remember back in the day, people used to say when the feds get on you, when they knock on their door, they're not coming just because. They coming because they already got you. Time will tell. Welcome to the Mr. Wilson's Got a Headache podcast. I'm your host, Dennis the Menace. Check this out.
Questions are also being raised about Henyard using taxpayer dollars for personal expenses, including her makeup artist. This itemized payroll sheet for the township from May of last year lists Brandon Moman as an administrative assistant. But when we reached out to him, he told us he's Henyard's makeup artist.
Whenever I'm involved in something like a REIT or some type of corporation or I'm on some type of board, one thing I don't want to do is be in charge of the money. Usually there's another party assigned that can check that money so they can hold people accountable. I know I'm not going to take anything, but what about them? And for that reason, I stay away from it. But when you're a public official, you should know that everything you do in your official capacity is going to be public record. And anybody in this city can access that information. And so now we're seeing that she's spending $1,500 left and right on a makeup artist. Not only that she has a stylist. So people in Dolton even say that she's done things like pay people's water bill and pay people's light bill and pay people's rent. And I know there may be some people on the other side of this video thinking, what's wrong with that? Who's to say one person is deserving of having all of their bills paid and everybody else got to work? Help is one thing, but a crutch is something completely different. Now, of course, because she's done these things, there's a portion of the city that supports her because they're in a financial place where that can benefit them. So even though you hear all this bad news about her, there is a segment of that village that support Tiffany Henyard. When the books come out, the city is just not in the same shape as it used to. Check this out.
Now we're forced to sit here and take money out of an account that we really shouldn't be taking money out of because we at that rainy day part where we're barely gonna see if we can make payroll through the end of September. So while everybody's sitting up here talking about we've been lying, they lying, I ain't took no first class flight. It's a warrant list to have. We didn't pay for the township conference.
According to the local news in Chicago and surrounding areas, when Tiffany Henyard took on the responsibility of being the mayor, the village of Dolton had a surplus of funds, and now they have a deficit. You can attribute some of that to hard times right now. Maybe that is a portion of it. I don't know many governments, local governments, federal governments in this country right now who have already started laying people off, like the village of Dolton. They say the city is littered with signs with her face on it everywhere. I'm from the Raleigh, North Carolina area. I don't recall ever seeing a mayor's face on a sign plastered all over the city. Maybe if they were pushing an initiative, but not to the extent of what she's doing. And at this point, one of the trustees is saying that they may not be able to make payroll after the month of September for any city employee. At this point, the city is in such bad shape that the trustees are saying that they want to sell off some of the properties that the cities own in order for them to make some money and stabilize their financial situation. Tiffany Henyard is in a situation where the walls are closing in on her. Now, I'm not saying she's guilty. What I'm saying is there are a lot of accusations, and now with the federal investigation and some of her people seemingly turning on her and cooperating with authorities, time is running out if she's guilty. Check this out.
See, Keith Freeman was Henyard's number 2 in Thornton Township and in Dolton. So he was essentially her number 2, running everything. She's Batman, he's Robin. But then the feds hit Freeman with a bankruptcy fraud indictment, And Keith Freeman, seeing the writing on the wall, he's in FBI subpoenas and everything, he then flipped on Henyard. He flipped in Thornton and he flipped in Dolton, becoming a whistleblower, giving all of the documents needed to show what's actually going on behind the scenes. So Henyard fired Freeman from Thornton Township, but then attempted to fire him from Dolton. But the issue with Dolton is Freeman is now a whistleblower.
Going straight to Keith Freeman. So, Board of Trustees, what do you want to do?
I have a question because you said he's terminated. So what? Why are we?
Oh, wait, hold on. Cause y'all always say, that I don't come to y'all. Hold on. We're gonna play the little silly game right now. So I put it on the agenda because he got terminated already. But everybody inserted themselves in the business of the mayor, right? So everybody inserted themselves. They send letters out. They let him do all this little finicky stuff, send emails out to the staff, all kinds of stuff. He knows this. They all know that because they wrote their names on it. So they kept saying, you got to bring it to the board. You got to put it on the agenda. So what I do? It's on the agenda. So that's why I asked that. So why would you ask that redundant question of talking about why I'm asking y'all? You guys asked me to put it on the agenda. It is on the agenda because we wanted your input, your opinion, right? So it's on the agenda for your input and your opinion because you kept saying that you guys have to vote on it. Is that not what y'all kept saying? Y'all say y'all got to vote on it. So here we are. So, Board of Trustees, is there a motion to terminate Keith Freeman? Dun, dun, dun. There y'all go. What we doing? Is there a motion to terminate Keith Freeman? What we doing? Y'all gotta huddle up. Y'all gotta huddle up real quick. We're gonna take a 3 second. Hey, what we doing?
You want to discuss?
What y'all want to do? Y'all had to talk about it and get it together yet? Y'all doing signals across the room. What we doing? Y'all motioning here. What we doing? Y'all quiet. Y'all quiet as a church mouse, as I say. What's going on right now? I nobody.
At 9:52 p.m.
That's a shame. That's a shame. So I'm gonna remember this because at the end of the day, I told you guys don't run the day today. The mayor does. So Keith Freeman, I know you watching. You no longer work for the village of Dolton. Please turn in your keys, turn in all your stuff. HR reach out to you tomorrow as relates to your fire.
If you've been following this story, you've heard of Keith Freeman. Keith Freeman is one of her most trusted advisors. And now he's cooperating with the FBI. And let's say like Little Woody in the YSL trial, maybe Keith Freeman is going to receive immunity so they can get Tiffany Henyard. And Tiffany Henyard decided that she didn't like that, so she wanted to fire Keith Freeman. But according to the trustees, they've been trying to block it because now he's considered a whistleblower. And you can't fire a whistleblower when they're exposing corruption in this type of situation. And if you do, well, then you'll have a lawyer come take that case pro bono because they know it's an easy case and the city will be facing a lawsuit. The trustees looking at the books are saying the city can't even afford to pay out that lawsuit. Not only that, there was a female staffer who supposedly was sexually assaulted by another person on the board. And when they spoke out about it, Tiffany Henyard fired them as well. So one of the issues that the FBI is looking at is whether or not Tiffany Henyard is retaliating on people. With her publicly firing Keith Freeman in the fashion that she did after he cooperated with investigators, it doesn't help her case at all. It actually makes her look very guilty. And now we're at the point where the former mayor of Chicago, LightFoot, has been placed over an investigation of the finances of the village of Dolton. Coming up this week, she's going to put out her report of what she's found. So we won't be asking questions for much longer.
The LightFoot report. She has spoken to these certified public accountants. They have given her all of the village's finances, so we get to see what's actually been going on for the past 2 years. No more speculation, no more innuendo. We get to see the actual numbers, and that's what the trustees have. That's why they've had to do these layoffs and firings, because they now know the real state of affairs. So
I think the biggest point here is that if you're in leadership, you say that you want to be in leadership or you want to be the mayor, you have to understand that leadership looks really nice looking from the outside in, but what it actually does is it puts a bright light on everything that you do in that organization, or in this case, in that particular village. There's nothing that you can do that is not going to go under scrutiny when you're in front of people. So as many people say that they want to be leaders, if you can't accept the fact that you're going to feel alone in that leadership and you can't deal with that, you're not the type of person who can be ostracized and still continue to move forward and make good decisions and stand until people can realize that some of the things that you do that they don't agree with will actually work in their favor, then you may not be cut out for leadership. But one of the things that you definitely can't do is start throwing people's money around like you crazy in public service. That's one of the cardinal sins. That's one of the things that takes every politician down if they find a link to those finances. I really hope that none of this is true. I hope that she comes out on top and she can say, hey, you know, I told y'all these people were coming after me. I was doing everything right. It was somebody else. But at this point, it just looks like we're just waiting for the inevitable. The question is, when are the voters going to look deeply enough into the people that they're voting for so that you can spot these signs before you vote somebody into office? Because you can't expect that this person is all of a sudden going to stop being who they've always been. It looks like now that the village of Dolton was swindled by a fast-talking, cute-faced, bubbly personality person who had spending problems in their own personal finances, and then the village of Dolton just handed this person a credit card. Why would you believe that anything would be different? Listen, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Meet me in the comments section. I want to talk to you about it. If you feel differently, let's talk about it. And as always, I'll see you on the next video.